Hello, Reckonate7, and welcome to The Troop. So continuing a divergence from our usual fare, and we're going to have a check-in at some of the next Fest demos that are available, and things that may interest me, and kind of things which are more or less aligned to the content of my channel. This one's slightly more so than Starship Troopers, which we covered the other day. So yeah, this is a game called The Troop, one which I didn't know a lot about. I actually stumbled across a Reddit post about it kind of last week, and went digging, and yeah, what I found was a World War II turn-based, tactical, kind of hex-based combat game. So it's been developed by a developer called Giant Flame. It is just three guys working part-time. It seems to be their first foray into game development. It's been published by someone called PLA Studios, who seem to focus more on kind of assessment and educational software. They have released some games in the past, though these seem to be kind of more mobile fare, and none of it seems remotely kind of wargamey or World War II based. So it seems a bit of a foray for both developer and publisher. But that said, I'm not going to judge people on past merit. It's always interesting to see new players come into the game. So this is, like I say, it's a kind of turn-based, hex-based game, but more at the tactical level, which is a bit different actually, because most of the kind of hex-based text games you think of either happen at the kind of strategic or operational level. So things, I suppose you've got like War in the East at the very, very high level, all the way down to I think more things like Panzer Corps and Unity of Command, which are probably more kind of operational than tactical, whereas this is very much kind of squads and individual tanks. So maybe we'll talk about it further, but let's kind of jump into the game. So I've kind of played through the first three tutorial-esque type scenarios. So we're going to have a look at Crossroads, where we have armory and infantry cooperating in the hedgerows. So I will say that the game developers are keen to push that this is kind of inspired by history, and they certainly look to make historically plausible scenarios, but they are not wed to realism. And you know, they're inspired by kind of tabletop type war games, and they're looking to get a fun and engaging game that kind of relates to World War II combat, but yeah, doesn't emulate it 100%. It's not a simulation, which I think is quite nice that they've taken that approach up front, and they're being quite honest what their vision of the game is.
This crossroads is the perfect spot for an ambush. The enemy will certainly be covering the main road.
So the first thing which struck me as I came into the game was I was actually really impressed by the graphics, considering it seems to be a pretty small team, and that you know, kind of war game-esque tabletop kind of type content, fare, whatever you want to call it, games don't usually look very good. You know, I come from someone who plays a heck of a lot of combat mission. That is not one which we do for the graphics. So you know, quite pleased by it. It's very pretty looking. Alright, let's kind of look at some of the UI stuff. So a very basic concept, obviously it's an Igo-Yugo turn-based system. You have a number of action points, or movement points here for the infantry, and it's very straightforward in that if you move up to 3 your action points, you can then shoot afterwards. If you move 4, you see you get this little exclamation mark symbol, which means that will be the end of their turn. So I will just push everyone forward. We have indicated that there's some Germans hanging about this crossroad. I have played the first few turns of this now before, so I do know they're kind of spread out everywhere. And the first thing we need to do is just need to advance out this field. We'll talk about some of the other concepts as they come up. Especially interesting is how they've done tanks and tank combat. But perhaps we will just move our way through this first turn, and then as we head into contact, I'll explain how the various bits and pieces work. Yeah, I'll just kind of click through. But so far it seems pretty well put together. I've not run into any kind of serious bugs or kind of game-breaking things which I think, oh, that's a bit rough, that's not going to work. So yeah, pretty pleasantly surprising actually. As I say, from a game I've heard nothing about.
Yes, sir.
Which we charge our Mark II Sherman. Let's put him straight on. Alright, we can end our turn, and the enemy will have a go at theirs. So there is it, and obviously everything works on hexes and lines of sight, and there is a feature which I absolutely love. So you know, you have an infantry unit here, and you think, well, I'm thinking about moving him up, but I don't know what he's going to see, who can shoot it. There is a perfect line of sight tool. Click on any hex and it will show you who you can have this direct line of sight on in the blue, and then the kind of indirect line of sight in purple. So that's stuff you can shoot on, but it's going to be pretty ineffectual. And that, I think, is a fantastic little tool, which takes away some of the guesswork, which we have unfortunately seen in previous games like this. Now I want to move through this hedge and onto a defensive position, so I'm actually going to take a turn where I just chill a little bit. I'll heal to the road, see if you can spot some cherries. I'll push you to the field over there. Oh, hello. So that's interesting. So the placement is definitely different each time we play. So there seems to be a few kind of battle plans that the enemy can adhere to. So where can I go where I can actually get line of sight on this fellow? Oh, I've moved him up already. Can you move up and see him? Only if you go full of 4 movement. What about you? So this is where we get to talk interesting things about tank combat. So in addition to these movement points, the tanks have little blue pips, which are gunnery points. And these essentially indicate how far you can traverse your turret. And use that to aim turret. And indeed we can see them, and you see it's not going to be pretty effective, but we can aim our turret at that. So the little blue 3 there means it's going to take 3 of our gunnery points to aim our turret there. So let's just... Oh, in fact, do I want to move up first before we do this? Sure, let's move up a little bit. Watch me block my line of sight because I didn't check beforehand.
Reporting.
Right, let's try this again. Aim turret. And it will just show a percentage chance of inflicting damage and a little bit of info as to why. So we're getting penalised because we moved, penalised because we had to move our turret to aim. They're in a half cover, they are lying prone. And then some other modifiers. I'm not entirely sure where they're coming from, but at least it gives you a bit more modifier as to why you're going to get the chance you are going to hit. There is also a thing called steadiness, so this is and that affects the impact of your accuracy for hitting, and that's impacted by either movement or coming under fire. So let's just fire our turret at these guys. So we didn't inflict any casualties, but we did inflict 30% suppression, which is going to impact their ability to shoot our lads back. And we might, if we're lucky, be able to maybe cause a little bit more suppression. Not so much. Alright, we'll just move out into the road then. Probably inviting a few attacks from a few other places, but so be it. We shall have our Sherman advance over here. You can see anything, and you obviously see this. What was hashed or striped, showing we had no line of sight, clears as you move up and see things, which is I think it's a nice little touch as well. Very clear on what isn't covered by the fog of war in a pretty easy to understand way. Oh, this is quite a good indication. So we see we've driven our Sherman over here, and he's ended up pointing off in this direction. And actually, we can get round. I'm surprised that I wasn't expecting to be able to. But you can see there's a limit to how far we can slew our turret round in one turn, and that also varies vehicle to vehicle. You know, I don't think it's a game-changing new mechanic, but I really like it. I think it's a really nice addition, and lets you think about kind of positioning of your tank a little bit more. Right. Oh, but I used an extra movement, so I can't even fire. So although I can't fire this turn, the fact that my turret is now aiming means if I do not move and I take this same shot next turn, I'll get a bonus to hit. Right, we've got an overview down here which obviously shows all our units and who has movement points, etc. left. You can't see on the sheet, so you might as well move up. You... Oh, because the tank is now in the way. Fair. Is that any... Sure, why not? Come over this way. That'll do. Let's not overthink it, Requin. I mean, the enemy's laying an ambush, so I'm sure we're going to stumble over more than anything else. Like this.
The enemy's got range, receiving fire.
Okay, these lads are... I don't know what they're doing, actually. I don't know if they broke because of being under fire, but either way they've ended up in a pretty poor spot. So I'm going to move these guys along the road just so they're not blocking the hexes from moving through. We could lob a grenade at them. Just fire at them. Short range, those wondrous things. Kills them all. Excellent. One German unit down. Right, how badly damaged is our Sherman over here? We lost one crewman. We've lost a whole number of movement points because our tracks have been damaged. I mean, we can shoot back. I'm assuming this is a fight we're going to lose. Pair open actions, bail out crew. Let's just fire back. Didn't do much. Okay. That's fine. I would like to move, if I can. Let's move you over this way, and we'll have you in behind this building. So you can take occupation of buildings. Any more Germans spotted? No. And it does provide a pretty healthy cover bonus, as one would expect. That's an unpleasant sight for Bren Carrier. You are in a whole heap of trouble, my friend. So, this Universal Carrier obviously has got the Bren gun on the front. They only have a hull-mounted MG, which since he has no turning, has no turning from turrets, you have to rotate the vehicle and point at the things you want to fight. Sure. I mean, you're just going to annoy him more than anything else. I don't think it'll have any effect. As it shouldn't, which is good. I would quite like... Can you... use a shot here? Use a shot there. Let's find out. Yes, you can. Not a great shot, but we'll go for it. He is side on, so we should probably take this opportunity to try and hook him in the side. Our hit chance is pretty poor, but we'll give it a go. We missed.
Yes, sir.
I would like you to also advance over. Probably to that point, let's get these lads into the field. Start pushing forward.
Yes, sir.
Never great putting people in open cover, but
Yes,
sometimes we don't have a choice.
on our way.
Right. Having slewed you all the way around last time, you've got to straighten up. Right. And again, chance to hit is almost negligible, so this is minimal there. Ooh. Oh, we missed. I do like these little cutscenes. They are infrequent enough so not to get annoying, but they add a little bit of something to the game. And I do enjoy that. Again, not much chance, but might as well take our luck. And as expected, we missed. But that's fine. So far, good feel. I like the sound design. I like the kind of the music and the voices and the combat sounds are all pretty immersing. That's the wrong word. Immersive. Much. They lend a good feel to the game. And I have enjoyed it. I've been pleasantly surprised by this unknown entity I've picked up. Yeah, it's not a complete unknown. I know some. Oh, it's another crew member dead. Another.
The enemy's got our range. Receiving fire.
And so I know other people have covered it on YouTube, but it was just one I wasn't aware of until this week.
Reporting.
Yeah, these guys are in a bad way. Probably gonna. In fact, they're probably just goners, really. So they have been stunned. Essentially, what this little symbol means. So they cannot take it. Any actions at all, really. Meanwhile, I mean, I'm now fighting this guy front on, haven't I? So good chance to hit. I'm just not convinced I'm going to do very much. He's very suppressed, but I did just, you know, deflect him more than anything. Oh, we killed one of the crew member, and we have damaged him slightly. I mean, I'm certainly not completely au fait with how the armor penetration and all that malarkey works and how realistic compared to Arcadia is. It certainly seems to be a bit balanced, but it's not like a, you know, run into the wrong armor, you're just never going to penetrate them. Right, we might as well just concentrate firing this chap. Even with my light tank, my Stuart. Yeah. Okay.
Most tanks have their thickest armor on the front.
Ah, there you go.
If you are having trouble penetrating their armor, try hitting them from the side or rear.
You've been mobilised, but I don't know. Anger him. We're gonna have these guys move into the far side of that building. And they are in the building. Yes, good. And just stay there while we send our other troops in to clear out the woods. I don't trust that Jerry's not there. We're going to have to do something on this side because we've essentially just sent a tank off to his doom. But we can always kind of hook round once we've dealt with this rather pesky Stug. You might as well just keep advancing. There is an advantage not advancing your full distance if you go only, I can't show it there, but if you only go 2 steps, can't show it there, they will lie prone and they are harder to hit. So it is definitely something to consider when you're galloping forward. Recon by fire.
Eröffnet das Feuer! He's knocked out.
That was the one our AT was picking on. It seems we have found another Stug.
Eröffnet das Feuer!
I'll have to get off this road.
With each unit eliminated, the enemy loses some morale. Yes, sir. If their morale reaches 0, they will retreat and be
There's a
defeated.
really high chance, which unfortunately we're going to have to give up to try and protect our armour from the AT gun on its flank. So we've gone from an 80% chance to a 10% chance. At least this chap should remain zeroed in, and because we now have accurate fire, or not, I was going to say we get to pick which area you target.
Yeah, got him.
But seem to not get it in that case. Tank knocked out. Excellent.
Reporting.
Let's advance. Let's put
Moving out.
It's charging up the middle. See if we can get some eyes on that building. Can you guys please fire? No, you cannot. Interesting. Can you guys get into the woods? No, but you can block line of sight from this chap, so we shall deal with that. He's just got this little corridor of death that you can see into. It means we can move you to... is it that tile? Yes.
Yes, sir.
And you will be safe there. Well, you'll be safe from this guy. There may be others lurking. And again, we shall just move you up slightly to there. My ever-dwindling forces. We need to move forward at least a couple. Perfect. There we go. Granted, we can't fire back from any of these positions, but that's okay. Just trying to preserve my forces at the minute. Should probably check what everything he can see. Okay. We are relatively protected at the minute, so I'm happy at that. Yeah, certainly got an 80 gun and a Stug still to contend with. Hello! Oh, that's disappointing. Panzer Shrek crew. I've just damaged. It looks like maybe not taking out my tank. Right.
Yes, sir.
I should probably just bail out anyone who I've got here. Okay, a couple of LMG guys. Fine.
Receiving.
I think I'm going to see if I can use you to clear out these chaps. But I do have to be wary of the guys in the woods, so I could... Can I get you from here? No. If I move over here, I should be able to.
On the move.
Again, it's not a great line of sight, but only got a small amount of chance, but we do have high explosives, which is always a benefit. Not that it worked very well for us this time. I need to find out where I can attack these guys from. Yeah, the woods kind of block you. Just move in behind the tank for just now. See if we can't push into woods. Maybe from somewhere over here. Maybe we'll just fire from where we are. Not really doing much by the in way of damage. Kind of to be expected. But if we can put some suppression on them, it's a start. If you can go forward 3, you might be able to do some short range damage on these guys. Although actually, could you grenade them? No, we can't. Okay. Haven't done much there apart from giving some suppression, but it's a start.
Yes, sir.
So you are hearing your way over here. We have to watch out for that. We also have to watch out for the other corridor of doom from this guy. 3 squares in front of that. So I might actually just come over here and see if I can't say hello to the guys in that house. No, I can't.
Yes, sir. On our way. Yes, sir.
So you can only take one movement. If you take it doesn't matter how far. If you only use one movement point and then you move again, each your whole turn. So it's something to be aware of.
Reporting.
You're suppressed, so you can't do anything. Oh well. Who are you guys gonna have a go at now? Didn't do too much to my troops there. I might return the favour with a grenade. We've got the LMG team over there. And here comes a second Stug. Okay, that was a pretty decent turn as far as we're concerned. So I think I'm just going to gobble a grenade at these guys. One of them. And probably just get them from the other side here. Might not be grenade range. I think yeah, especially in the woods, it's only one. But we'll have a go.
Receiving. On the move.
Let's push the tank towards the LMG because I don't think they have much of an answer for them, to be perfectly honest. It's going to leave us a bit kind of one-on-one with our other Sherman against the Stug.
Yes, sir.
See how it goes. So I'm going to push you quite a bit over here. I should have crossed his line of sight, and indeed it has.
Yes, sir.
Actually, you might be able to slew around and have a go at this guy. Yeah, very mobile turret there. Oh, but I moved too far. Always forget that. And there we go, one more unit cleared out. Excellent. Didn't quite check if that was in the right place or not. It is, good.
Yes, sir.
Have our guys sprinting forward. Okay. He hasn't moved. Ah, you're up and going again. Excellent. Why don't you come in over here? We can hide behind this hedge from the Stug. See if we can't flank him when he appears. They are advancing towards my tank. A bold decision. That was a pretty effective shot against infantry. He seems content just to kind of hide himself there.
Receiving.
Let's start. So you can see the further, if you look at the steadiness here, the further I go, the lower it drops and the harder it is to shoot. Well, actually, maybe I just don't move at all. Yeah, that gives me a reasonable chance to hit. Indeed, that wiped out a
the
squad.
enemy have had enough and are retreating to fight another day.
Okay.
I was hoping they'd show a little more backbone, to be honest.
That makes my life easier because I don't have to try and get around to fight that other stug. So I was kind of, obviously it's just one of the early setups. I don't know if it's for the campaign or just purely for the demo, so it doesn't force you to wipe out the entire enemy. But it was just a first look, like I said. I really enjoyed it. I think it seems to be a very well put together game. Certainly one I'm going to keep an eye on for the development of. And again, I thought it might be of interest to those of you on my channel who like the World War II stuff. I may cover the next mission as well and fling it up next week. Depends if I get a chance to record it before the next fest end. But I'd really be interested to hear what your thoughts are on it. Maybe it's already on your radar, maybe it's brand new to you. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, I do hope you have enjoyed this, and I will catch you all in the next one.